right, so today we have a very, very special guest, Ivan Fredric. So basically, he's a lawyer turned fitness entrepreneur. Chase Fitness started 6 months ago with 7,000 monthly footfall, known for redefining group training experiences because of a very unique style of coaching that builds community and creates a space for people to grow mentally and physically.
So I always believe in, it comes to working out or even comes to work, I constantly face pressure. And I don't take it as a negative thing. I think pressure is privilege. Life will hit us hard, top, bottom, left, right. If we did not have a huge tolerance towards pain or difficulty, I think.
First question for you is essentially, why is a strong tolerance of pain important in your line of work?
Because I always believe in, it comes to working out or even comes to work, I constantly face pressure. And I don't take it as a negative thing. I think pressure is privilege. Why do I say that? Because when it comes to working out, when we lift weights, whenever we feel pressure, whenever we feel pain, that comes through, we build tolerance, we build the grit, we build the strength to overcome something that we are faced, or we overcome some challenges that we are faced. And sometimes life will hit us hard. Life will come with us from top, bottom, left, right. And if we did not have a huge tolerance towards pain or difficulty, I think it's easy for us humans to give up. And it's always about, when I tell my clients, it's not about who is able to lift the heaviest weights. It's always about who is able to sustain and be holding on to for trainings for the longest time. Mm-hmm. So that's about how we will tolerate tough moments and hang in there and not give up.
Okay. And of course, you come from a legal background, right? And by profession or by trade, you were a lawyer first, and then you moved into the fitness space. So, of course, I'm super curious about how that started. What was your initial stint into getting paid for providing consultation or anything fitness related? And how did that journey kind of gear you up for the inception of Chase?
Okay, so backtrack probably about a year ago. A year ago, I was 9 to 5. All right, or probably 9 to 9. Okay, and then probably about in the evening, I'll head off to do fitness coaching. Mm-hmm. And during the day, I'll be lawyering. Okay. And it was fun. It was great, handling both careers or even passion at the same time. And at the time, I had no clue that I was going to start a studio.
Okay.
All I want to do is focus on career.
Yep.
Okay. And fitness was just passion, hobby. And soon after, I was reaching towards a senior level in my career. Okay. And I had to make a decision. Whether do I stay on and join the partnership, or do I figure out something else in life?
You offered a partnership opportunity with the firm that you were working with, or?
I was made senior pretty quickly. Okay. So I kind of ranked up through the ranks pretty fast. Okay. And it was at that 5 or 6 year mark, you kind of you will be considered to join partnership. I see. Yeah, as a JP, as a junior partner.
I see.
So that's a timeline. Okay. And some people may decide not to and they go in-house for lawyers, or they decide to head on to the legal route and pursue it for the rest of their lives. Okay. And that was kind of like a dilemma. I'm like, I was questioning myself, right? And do I really want to do this for the next 10 years or even 20 years or even the rest of my life? Or do I want to pursue something that I know I could create more? Okay. And I sat on the idea for so long. Right. And I didn't pursue it, to be fair. I didn't actively, drive and seek for opportunities. Okay. I think opportunities presented itself. Okay. And at that point, of course, having a very stable career. Yeah. I'm a very risk-averse person.
Really?
Yeah, super risk-averse.
Is Chase your first stint at business?
I started at Fitness Activewear last time, but that was an MCO hobby. Okay. That if that didn't really turn out, I don't feel much. Okay. Right, because that was just like
you still could go back to law.
Yeah. Okay. And that was I was doing during my lunch break or even the weekends. It was like a weekend project. Mm-hmm. All right. So the legal career was something that, of course, your parents expect you to do well, and they expect you to, at the end, the route was owning your law firm,
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The straight path.
The straight
Yeah,
path,
yeah.
right? And at one point, my partner back then, she really supported the idea of, hey, why don't you, you have so many customers, loyal customers,
Yep.
like supporting you or like following your journey and like, attending your classes.
Yep.
And I think you should probably start something because there's something special around going on. And I was like, nah, you know what? It's a bit crazy. It's a bit crazy. I'm not sure how's the trend the market is going to be, and I'm not sure how I'm going to survive if things don't work out. And at one point, I had another talk with my current business partner.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, I did the numbers. I didn't want to talk to you about this, but I did the numbers. And he said, if you manage to carry on this momentum,
Yeah.
I think we can start something great.
Right.
And I was like, I was still like, you know what, you're joking, right? And soon I was, the vision and the wasn't aligned with my previous studio.
Okay.
And I decided to let's try it out. Let's try it out. I wasn't like so sure yet. I was like, okay, let's give it a go and see. So we started funding, tried to find funding. Okay, we started to find for investors. We started to find for location. Okay, that all took us about probably 1 or 2 years. All right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of planning. A lot of planning.
Yeah, tremendous planning. Even finding a location took us about 1 year, straight 1 year. And I did not even decide to proceed with it until I find the perfect location.
Right.
So I think I want to put everything in place perfectly.
I see.
Yeah, and number one, funding was an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a huge issue because number one, we went to SME bank, the interest rate was high, and we were like, it's because when it comes to fitness, the capital it's high, right?
Yes.
To start
all
fitness space.
and you've got like first class gear as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's not
Yeah.
like cheap stuff.
Yeah.
It's like very good stuff.
So at the end, we kind of we sat down and said, hey, why don't we really try to put in our own money so that we don't have to do, finance or, get any lending for this.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when like,
And the interest kills you.
yeah, that's right. I think at the time, as even SME bank, like offered us about 9%
Yeah.
interest,
dear God.
which is insane,
Yeah.
right? It's insane. And we decided like, okay, when we started to pull in the capital, and then that at that moment things like got real. All right, so I was like, wow. So that's a bit crazy journey in there, and yeah, since then on, I still manage legal and fitness planning of it. Still haven't made the decision to quit law yet.
Right. So you do it like,
know?
how do you do it?
Yeah,
Part
so
time? Like, how's it balanced?
I'm known to not go out for lunches.
Okay.
I think I probably went out for less than 10 times over a 5 years career. In legal.
Okay.
Just because I had the habit of eating, lunch during my desk lunch hour.
Yeah.
And I just don't like walking out because it's so hot, right? I don't get sweaty and all in formal clothing. And during that 1 hour break, I'll usually plan things and get a lot of things done. And during the weekends, and as well as probably at night, late nights, that's when the kind of, side hustle comes in. And so that work doesn't get compromised, you still produce. So, and then I was thinking, okay, maybe I could do both, right? Still having a career and still handling it.
Yeah.
And I didn't make a decision until, we really lock it in for the tenancy period. And I was like, crazy. If I were to commit this amount every month, no way, I'm not going to do anything else that's going to disrupt, that commitment.
It's like shit got real.
Yeah. And that's when I was like, that robs a lot of opportunity cost for me to build something great. And at that point, I was like, it's either I'm all in or I'm all out. There's no in between anymore. So I think I prayed about it and like, seriously, dude, is this the right path? And I just, weigh the pros and cons. Kind of like, it's just you sat down and really pray about it. And like, at one point I was like, yeah, let's go for it.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you know I was in law school. First degree was in Australia. I was in Melbourne. And then the second degree was law. But like kind of like early on I was like, shit, like I've done my first degree. I just want to go to work.
Yeah.
You know, so like, and it was actually it was my parents. So they were
Yeah.
like, hey, you know, second degree, pursue law, and then like you can kind of couple your first and your second and see how that can transform into some form of a career.
Yeah.
And I was just so restless. I just wanted to get to work. And it every now and then I wonder, right, like what was the opportunity cost, right? Or what could have been, right? So I'm curious as to when you made that pivotal decision because you had that opportunity to become junior partner, right? What are the privileges, like what do you get as a junior partner as opposed to previous, and what was weighing on you in terms of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna give up on, this is the opportunity cost, however the vision ahead within that fitness space is so much greater. Like what was the trade-off?
Okay, so number one, of course, you have to survive. So number one would be money.
Yeah.
So I had to. The differences between
Yeah.
a senior and a JP,
Yeah.
it's not much.
Okay.
You're still getting a fixed salary,
Okay.
and of course, then you get a little bit more on the profit sharing side.
Okay.
During senior, you get profit sharing if you hit certain numbers throughout your year. Okay, so
Okay.
your collection, you call it collection, right?
Okay.
Yeah, if you hit a certain collection, you get a certain percentage back. JP is the same,
Okay.
but you're no longer supported with files. So it's no longer your bosses giving you clients. You kind of have to source out yourself.
I see.
Okay, so
you
during
build your own
senior,
network.
yeah, when you're a senior, you already have your solid clientele. Because those were probably being provided to you during your first year, second year, and you just go with them. And after that, you're expected to go out and market yourself and bring clients in.
Okay.
Okay, and that's the JP route.
Okay.
In terms of the increment salary is about 10, it's about same. I think market is 10%, 10 to 15%. That's about that rate. And I had to decide from fitness, and surprisingly, I was doing probably fitness paid really well. Right, it paid really well. And to those who do not know or even thinking about fitness out there, it's worth a go.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's
right.
worth a go.
As opposed to that traditional corporate route, like
Correct.
it actually can
Correct.
really
You can
break
actually
in.
survive. And not just that, you can actually make a very good living.
Right.
But the only trade-off is that you have to be really exceptional. Because of course, number one, it's an active career. It's not passive income. Active income means if you don't teach, you don't get paid. If your classes get cancelled and no one really likes you, or just once you're coaching, you don't get to run classes.
Correct.
So it's no base, right?
You have to fill up the classes.
Correct.
Yeah.
So at one point, fitness and legal kind of match up.
How so?
Because
As in like the pay was on par.
on roughly the same
right.
and on
Okay.
par.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Of course, you don't get benefits like bonus or
Yes.
or medical insurance, things like this. You don't get it in fitness, But I did the math. If I could do more classes, you could potentially earn more because the ceiling is depending on how many classes you take, right? Whereas just of a 9 to 5 career, it's a base, it's a fix, right? So I had to kind of figure out if I could leave, I won't be, afraid to survive. I'm still able to survive fully on fitness, and I had to kind of like manage to have about 6 to 9 months of savings.
Right.
Just for
You had the cushion is there also.
Yeah, just the cushion. So at that point, I wasn't that worried.
Okay.
If all else fails, I will still coach and I'm still able to maintain. Because I don't know, I was too comfortable with that lifestyle.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure as I was willing to give up that lifestyle.
Okay.
And I don't mind, don't get me wrong. But I'm not sure if, I didn't want lifestyle to affect passion.
Right. At lifestyle, do you mean like the way you live costed money?
Yeah, I didn't
Right.
want to, for example, ending up to selling my house or car,
Right,
or
right.
not eating certain food I want, or not even being able to travel just because I have to build. No, don't get me wrong. I think that comes to play when it comes to a startup or
Yeah,
entrepreneurship.
of course.
But I think at that point I had certain commitments I had to commit to.
Right.
So I had to make sure that whether is this financially viable.
Yep.
And I figured out yes it was. Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, let's go.
So then you so a few questions that I'm very curious about. So first thing is, why was Alpha Bangsa so important to you? what was it about location that you felt like that's the key?
Okay, this is a very cool story. We were looking at several areas. Number one, we want to hit the golden triangle because
Okay.
we did market research. The area between Mont Kiara,
Uh-huh.
Bangsar, and Damansar Heights.
Okay.
Those three.
Okay.
Anything within a circle, you have people within that target audience that we want to capture. People that are willing to who appreciate fitness and then they are willing to invest in it. Okay, so that was something that we want to look, and because it's convenient as well, people to travel in and out, and even within that area, we had to source out, look in different locations. We went to view so many units, and at that area, of course, prime location means what? Rental high.
Yes.
Rental
yes,
high,
yes.
high rentals means we cannot afford.
Right.
It's very, very simple logic, right? And we wanted initially, when we first started, we wanted to build our own warehouse.
Okay.
We found a land in Sepute.
Build your own warehouse, as in
That's
like
right.
one of those open concept style gyms.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Open
Okay.
concept style. Even though it can be closed concept,
Okay.
but we use metal structure, so we were able
Okay.
to build up. And if at that time, if things don't work out, at least we can sell those metal structure
Right,
and at least get back some.
Capital,
Capital.
retain some capital.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that time, we were really uncertain, right?
Yeah.
And then we were talking about it, discussing, and when we were so close towards, making a decision,
Yeah.
the landlord at that time said, "Oh no, I'm gonna, instead of renting to you at this lower rate, I'm gonna increase it because we want to build our own warehouse and we want to rent, and you be the anchor tenant." And I was like, "Wait, no, that's a bit unfair because
Yeah.
that wasn't what we initially discussed."
Correct.
So I think every single moment led up to the other.
I see.
Right? Just
I see.
because of this, it didn't work out. You feel defeated. I felt
Yeah.
like, that essentially means that I have to restart the whole process again of contacting agents.
But the setbacks happen for a reason.
Precisely.
Right.
In
It's like-
hindsight.
in hindsight. Yeah.
In hindsight, you do not realize until years after, right? And you realize that why everything happens for a reason, right? We were looking at Mid Valley, we were looking at KL Echo City, and we were looking in Mont Kiara, looking in Pavilion in Damansar Heights.
So
DC
wait,
Mall.
you wanted like mall locations.
I didn't want to, but we had limited
These were
options.
These were ideas that you had.
Because number one, we had to find a location. Number
Okay.
two, we had to find parking that's accessible by hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's not just, Bangsa, you have all these like bungalow houses. We want to look at houses and we can't because there's no parking available. So we need to find a space, either a big piece of land that no one is using and we can just rent the land for a very cheap cost and build ourselves. Or we find a place that is, super as ample of parking. And then one day I was like, kind of like, okay, I'm not rushing to it, still have the legal career,
Yeah.
all good. One day I was driving down Jalan Maruf
Okay.
and I saw like this, the construction. And I was like, wait, they weren't advertising whatsoever.
Okay.
So I was driving past and I kind of like look at, what's going on. I saw like little word like Alpha Bangsa coming soon.
Okay.
Okay, that's when it all started. So I rang them up, Google search, rang them up and said like, hey, I was inquiring about what's going on here. Is there something building up? And then the tenant manager at the time came back to me, after he returned my phone call. He said, hi, talking about it. Yes, we are looking at rental. It's like, okay, sure. So we went up again, went up to view the location. And at the moment when I stepped in, I was like,
this is it,
right?
Wow.
Because of the lighting, the space.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's a new building, number one. And number two, it's a mixed commercial property, mixed between commercial tenant, houses,
Yeah.
and it's a hotel.
Okay.
All right.
okay.
So it's pretty well balanced. Retail's only 6.
I
you know,
see.
this
So
is-
you're one of the 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
There's only
okay.
6, and then we're one of the 6, and ample parking. So
Okay.
right smack at Bangsar. So we were like, yes,
Okay.
yeah. That was the decision of why we wanted to choose Alpha Bangsar.
I want to address some of the questions about financing, right?
Yeah.
So let's crunch the numbers a little bit.
Yeah.
How much went into building Chase?
Let's say about 2 to 2.5. Yeah.
Wow. Was there ever
Yeah.
a point where you guys thought, hey, let's not start so big. We could start small, fly the plane as we build it. Because I've seen Chase, and
Yeah.
Chase is pretty big. The space is quite, there's ample amount of space. You can run multiple different studios, multiple different classes simultaneously, right? So why did you guys decide to go so big, so high risk?
Yep. Because that was a good question actually. To be fair, we were thinking of whether do we start small or do we just go hard or go home. And at that point, number one, if I were to start small, I think the people that we attract will be different.
Oh,
There's no way I'm gonna get the talents from the coaches, that right now team right now. And if I were to start something, I really want to be kind of like straight in, be the top, like be the best, and that's when we decided like, yes, if it's possible, we should give our best, and I think we will at that point we will like, if because one of my mother partners, she has the concept of you want to do it great, if not don't do it at all. So when she had, I think we had different beliefs, but when we kind of really got aligned with this, like if we're gonna do everything, it's doing great, or if not, we just scrape the whole idea. So
Because you also say we a few times, right?
Yeah.
So you've got a few partners.
I got two partners.
So you've got two partners and then yourself.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about who they are, what are their profiles, what are their roles, and how do you guys segregate each other's tasks and roles?
Yeah, sure. So I have two other partners.
Yeah.
One is Yuying. She in charge of marketing.
Okay.
I actually know her.
Yes.
Yes.
And she told me that she knows you.
She runs a very successful contact lens business
That's right,
called
iMuse.
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 Yes.
Yes.
Small
And-
world.
Like, it's to be very transparent about it. It's
Yeah.
like we dated for 4 years.
Ah.
Oh, you guys were dating?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wait, we have to dive.
We're
Wait,
dating.
Wait, hold on. We have to
before-
dive into that because
Yeah.
I want to better understand how the dynamics of that relationship works in business.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a really interesting area. Everyone asks us that question. And the other one is Junyo. He runs his own construction company, and he's in charge of ops. On my side, I'm looking to the vision side of Chase. I oversee everything, and I handle the coaches.
Okay.
Yeah, the fitness side, fitness aspect.
So you're right on top with ops, basically.
Yeah.
Like you drive the business forward.
Yeah, that's right. And I look into front ops.
Yep.
Back-end ops, Joe does it, IT, the website, the booking systems.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how we segregate, which is amazing segregation of responsibilities and roles, just because everyone chips in towards their own expertise into the business, and it's not so much conflict, just because everyone just contributes different ideas from their own
Yeah.
their own expertise and experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no overlap because different jurisdictions. So
Correct.
you know better here, she knows better there.
Yeah. Correct.
And then, okay.
And at that point, before Chase started, word of mouth, got up to many people,
Right.
and I think a couple of investors wanted to come in.
Okay. Oh, investors wanted to come in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, a couple of investors,
Yeah.
and we decided to say no. We turned them down because they, apart from the monetary investment, there's nothing much they could provide. And even if they do, it clashes with one of our expertise. So we're like, we got the right fit. If you just getting money, or you want to step into what else more could you provide? We're not looking for just
capital. Yeah.
You're looking for expertise. How do you help us grow the business? If you're not active, then
There's no point.
There's no point.
There's no
Sorry.
So then, how did the three of you guys reunite to work on Chase together?
Okay. Yeah. So
That's a good question.
So the idea was always behind myself and Yuying at that point, and then while one day after coaching a class, Junyoung, my other partner, he attends to my cycling class, and he's always before class is always alone outside chilling by himself, just by himself, and I just have to chat to him, and then one day he just said, "Hey, have you ever thought of starting your own studio?" Right? And I was like, nah. But in my back of his ears, I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Right. But at the time I was like, nah, I was like, maybe not, And he was like, look at the numbers if I were to correct. He calculated on the spot, and his numbers are accurate.
Right.
Like his prediction of financial statements are like really, really kind of like spot on.
Right. He models them really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I could, yeah. So he controls he handles the finance side of business as well. So he was like, "This is a number you're gonna get. Is this worth something trying? Worth something to try?" And I was like, "Yeah." I think it was like, wow. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, "No way, no way." And then he was like, "Yeah." I mean, he made me optimistic. Say, let's just average it out. Let's just not to be too optimistic. This is the worst case that could happen. And I was like, I look at numbers again. I was like, it's
Worst case is pretty good.
yeah.
It's like the juice is really worth the squeeze.
Yeah, like not too bad, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. I was like, yeah, and I spoke, brought this conversation back to Ewing at the time. And I was like, hey, is someone interested? And I think it's good numbers. They could probably, fill in that gap.
Mm.
And then we kind of sat down, just like over coffee, just to talk about it. Talk about it and just to have a sense of like whether the feeling was right.
The vibe check.
The vibe check, yeah, all in all. And yeah, when we were like, oh yeah, when we had that conversation, I think it turned out pretty well. Everyone kind of got aligned and everyone kind of like, just curious, three people just curious about how's it like starting our fitness space. And we were like, yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Yeah.
What was
You first. I've asked so many questions.
So what was your value add to the business? What did you bring to the table apart from being a coach yourself?
Right. Number one is about the direction. I think I have a very strong vision on what I want to achieve with Chase. Right. That's number one. And number two is that I think I am able to guide or lead people, which is something that I really enjoy. How I'm able to build a team. Build a team of leaders in their own respective field. And that's something that I really, want to, dive myself into. And yeah, that's building something, having vision, creating more talents, building up people. I think that's something that I would give to
Right.
this.
So you're head of fitness.
Yeah, head of
right?
coaching.
So you're one of the big mandates that you have is basically the customer experience, the quality of service that they get from all the coaches, from the experience that they come in when they visit Chase.
Yeah.
Right. How do you uphold high standards with your team?
It all comes from strong vision, right? Everyone has to be aligned with what you really want to achieve. Because if not, everyone would have different versions of their own standards. My high standards could be different from your high standards.
Correct.
And when you set the tone, you have to be really clear about your vision. And people have had to understand you have to communicate that clearly to the team. And when you yourself have a vision that comes just and you will follow down with systems, all right, and everyone will just be aligned with systems, and everyone as well need to be on their own, have their own drive to be great. So at that point, number one is about the coaching ability and as well the coaching standards. That's number one that I look at, and the character as well. These two hand in hand is something that I always emphasize. All right, so I believe in good character and as well as good at what you're doing. Okay, so that makes things easier. And when we started, I got pretty good coaches. I mean, that's what it feels. Good coaches, amazing coaches to join the team. Coaching side, I wasn't that worried about it.
Right. Because they're proven, they already are good at what they do.
Yeah. Because at first a startup, we had to pull in crowd. All right. To pull in crowd, we had to pull in the greatest coaches, so they're able to pull in their own crowd.
Correct.
So we kind of combined different crowds together and put them all into one space.
I see.
So if not, I'll be so afraid of starting a fitness space.
How many coaches did you have like pre-day one?
I think we had about 8.
So you had 8 solid people good to go before day one. And then now you said you have 15.
Yeah.
Right.
And numbers are growing. So initially we had 8. It was 4. Yeah, about
Yeah.
8 to 10 coaches at the
Okay.
very beginning. One dropped out
Okay.
because of one dropped out at the start, just because numbers were slow at the beginning. She didn't
Really?
believe in the
Oh.
vision.
Okay.
She didn't
Okay.
believe in the vision. And she was
Okay.
telling me that she told me that she wants to focus on a full-time career.
Okay.
Soon did I find out she started working in a different studio.
Right.
At that
Okay.
time, and when we started, Chase wasn't, booming.
Yeah.
At that time, it was slow, right? Only our loyal regulars started with us. There were so many challenges, right? Number one, they had to clear their packages in their previous studios.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, no one's gonna come over because they have remaining credits.
Right. Okay.
Number two, in terms of fitness, everyone it's different from the F&B industry. In the F&B industry, I believe that when a cafe opens, a new cafe opens, everyone wants to be the first to try. When it comes to fitness, everyone wants you to try and you see,
And then recommend.
and then word of mouth. It's different.
Okay.
They're not the same as customers who go to F&B try a burger
See.
or even
Okay.
fried rice. No,
Yeah.
it's not the case. They're waiting for people to go in,
Okay.
and then they will see and wait out, and then they will decide whether to join or do they not. So that's something. When we started, we were like, it was good, but it wasn't like packed. So I think when those who didn't have the confidence within the vision, of course they stumble, they left. Oh, there's only one actually, only one left, and yeah, so the rest stayed, and now it paid off.
That's very interesting because like I see that like every single time I signed up for a new gym, it was a friend brought me in. It was some kind of referral. Like it was never like a Google or an ad or anything. So the barrier of entry that you have actually is quite high.
Yeah.
And secondly, I didn't think about that with the credits. If you're loyal to another space and you've bought certain credits, then you'd go through that whole process. So it's not a knee jerk to come to Chase right away.
Yeah.
Because they'll still have their routine and their habits. So you'd have to change habits, get them into your system, and then build loyalty, build LTV and longevity.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's right.
So like, I'm so curious, right? Like, so you cut the ribbon. What was day one like?
That's a good question.
Man.
You're just there like,
Where's the
Okay.
party?
Yeah.
November 30th, we did our pre grand opening.
Okay, like
because-
soft launch kind of
Soft
thing.
launch, just because the building wasn't ready yet. We had inner struggles because we had to get the main building. They hadn't got there. It wasn't really ready, so the floors were still kind of dusty. Tiles weren't in. The rest of the other retail partners weren't in yet. We're the first to open.
Oh.
Yeah, we were the
Okay,
first to
okay.
open. We were rushing them.
Yeah.
Because all the coaches have already left their studio, served their notice period, and I was under so much pressure because they're not getting paid, right? And they were asking, like, the customers have already left, and we're like, when are you starting, right? So we
Right.
decided, okay, let's do a soft launch. We were pushing for it to be launched. First day, many people turn out.
Okay.
Right? Friends and family, of
Okay.
course. Those who really were close to us, we had invites in. And I think we started building a lot of traction before that as well. I think marketing really come to play.
Okay.
Kind of build up noise, and then we said, like, redeem your trial. Your first class is on us free, and then everyone started building. I think we a couple of thousand of people signed up.
Wow.
That is massive.
Yeah, that was massive.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
really a high number claimed
Yeah.
that free credit. Just
Okay.
one free credit.
Oh.
So we kind of built that, I think, about 3 to 4 months
Yeah.
before we even launched.
And how did you market the free credit? Was it just word of mouth, or did you like run ads? Or
Yeah, we did Instagram.
Okay.
We run ads as well, and we did word of mouth. We did email marketing, and that kind of boomed. And then we started selling packages before we even opened. We gave like promos, pre-opening promos, and that really started off with a little bit of positive, cash flow, right? It was great. And when we started, it was chaotic. Like,
As in now it's like ops, like
Yeah.
getting all the teething with all the
Yeah,
operations, right?
First day, I ran the class, and like, man, it was just mess. Everyone was a
Right.
mess. Everyone was running in, running out. I was running around the studio, fixing the toilet, fixing the front desk. We didn't have many people at the time. We only had coaches and probably one or two front desks. And you're just like, what's going on? I can't really tell you like whether did I stand still at one point. I was just like running around, making sure everything's okay, and everything was just a mess. It was just
chaos.
just pure chaos. But it's fun, the chaos. Yeah, I think it was a memorable time that I would look back one day and just like, yeah,
Look how far we've come.
look how far. That's
Yeah.
right. That's
I'm
right.
curious to understand what your process was like moving from having a full-time job as a lawyer,
Yeah.
as an employed person,
Mhm.
employed professional, moving into running something of your own,
Mhm.
right? So one thing I've noticed with a lot of young individuals today is they tend to glamorize the idea of entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
They tend to fashionize what it's like to be a business owner. So for someone like you who went from being a full-time employed professional to someone running your own business, was that a bit of a culture shock where you went, damn, I didn't know I had to do all the dirty work. I didn't know it was so not glamorous.
Mhm.
Because like you mentioned, you were running around, you're fixing the toilets,
Yeah.
you're wearing every hat
Yeah.
on the table.
Yeah.
So was there a culture shock for you going from being an employed professional to now running your own business?
When I started, I had an idea. An idea it wasn't going to be easy, and I was okay doing the dirty work, and I didn't predict it was going to come, of course, but I knew things were not going to be smooth. But if anything, it's the purpose. I always question like, what do I really want from this? And when the purpose stays strong, I'll do whatever it takes. Like whatever it takes.
And what is the purpose?
Is to build something great, turn fitness great again. Because we had a vision that we didn't want a fitness space without soul. Like people just come in, work out, they leave. We want to build a space where people come in and grow, mentally, physically, build a community. I always wanted a strong community of individuals striving to become their best. When it comes to fitness, I think that's the fundamental or even the base that they could actually do something. Because if you cannot be fit, I would assume that it's hard for you to be good at a lot of things, and that's something that's so important. You have to be every man or woman have to be fit. All right. So at that point, yeah, I did not say no to anything, and it was just getting done. I think it was the fear of not getting things done, right? Because if I don't do it, no one's going to do it.
So it wasn't like you didn't even have the time to think of the culture
Precisely,
shock. You
yeah.
were just doing the
Right.
doing.
Yeah, you just thrown into at that moment.
Yeah.
There's no time to process. Even to now, if you ask me that question, right? I don't think
It hasn't hit you
it
yet.
hasn't hit me yet. It hasn't hit me yet. And because I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing it. And when you always do something that that you've built and is your own, I think it takes so much ownership and accountability to it. And yeah, you would do whatever it takes. You won't. I don't think I ever once complain. And at this point, it hasn't hit me yet. So
Right.
yeah, I'm just doing it every day.
When like in month what? Because like literally it's still a very new gym.
Yeah.
But it's doing very well.
Yeah.
Right. So like at which month were you your okay, so let's say pre-opening, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of pressure. So many moving parts. A lot of things that can go wrong, right? With any business.
Yeah.
Right. And then after operating, at some point you go, damn, this is working out.
Yeah.
Like we have something here.
Yeah.
And some worries start to disappear.
Yeah.
And some uncertainties are no longer uncertainties. They are certainties.
Yeah.
Right. Like at what point did that moment come around for you?
It was the uncertainty. Of course, number one is filling up classes. You have to
Yes.
make sure that every class
It's filled.
is filled.
Yeah.
Just because I'm able to pay my coaches. Step one. Step two is that to ensure that the operations are smooth. I think up till December, when we decided to, the crowd started picking up. All right, that's when we know that I knew that, okay, it's on the right direction. It's on the right direction. We had boot camp. Boot camp, it's strength training. At first, people were quite adamant towards it and skeptical. And then people start trying it because it was just like side by side. So the guys on Reformer Pilates will hop to boot camp. And then when they started sharing about what strength training is all about, and they start realizing that they could actually do strength training, then the crowd started to build from boot camp. And then we were like, oh, okay, it's, now we have 2 products going out. Indoor cycling, yeah, we were quite confident with that. Only for boot camp, we were quite worried because that's something new, right? Before Pilates, I wasn't that worried because we had, very strong anchor coaches. So for boot camp, it started building up. Then I was like, okay, classes, as long as every classes is running from 7 a.m. all the way up to 8 p.m., 8 to 9 p.m.,
Wow.
we're good. Means coaches get paid, able to survive, everyone's happy.
How many classes per day do you guys have?
We have close to about 30, man.
Wow,
30
that's
classes per
mad.
day.
7 a.m.
Wow.
7 a.m. we run
Wow.
all the way up to 10 p.m.
Oh,
So it's 45 minutes of class, 50 minutes of break.
So when you say anchor coaches, are they full-time employed coaches under Chase?
Yeah, that's right. So every coach is exclusive to Chase, and the anchor coaches are the ones that who believe in the vision, but we didn't have anything to show at the very beginning. So these guys are people that I always am grateful for, just because they believe in something that they couldn't even see it happening.
It was your description.
Yeah.
It was your vision.
Yeah. So
Did you know them prior?
some yes, some no.
Okay.
Some no. And I went to their classes, and I was like, yeah, can I have a chat with you, coffee with you,
Right.
be open with it. And that the conversation started from there, and this is what I'm building. And it's, of course, there's so many uncertainties from them as well, so many questions, but I was like, this is my vision, and this is what I want to build, which will be part of it. And for those, like, I'm actually wearing this like founding team. You can see behind. Those are the names there.
Oh, that is so cool.
If you guys, actually, it's pretty. T-shirts pretty at.
Ivan, Ying, Junyoung, Shakir, Martin. So these are the core.
Yeah, these are the core guys.
Right.
So I always wear them on my back because these guys always have my back.
Okay,
Right.
okay. That's cool.
And they are the ones who believe something that they could not even see, and I'm forever grateful. So I said, like, how many classes do you want to have an amazing life?
Yeah.
These are the classes I'm going to give to you, and so you can actually have this amount of take home every month, and we pay you. We pay our coaches. I'm probably say the highest in Klang Valley, just because I believe in talent.
Yep, 100%.
So it's like, this is the amount you're gonna get. I need to just believe. And they were like, some of them who had families left their current job, some of them who were doing super well left, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna do.
So you touched a little bit about community building. So you said that the purpose was building a studio with heart and with soul, building a community. And that's not something that is unheard of. Every studio founder would say the same thing. It's all about building a community, building a place where people can be the best versions of themselves. What do you think sets Chase apart in terms of the types of classes you guys offer? Indoor cycling, Pilates, strength training, cold plunge. These are classes that are also available in other studios, right? It's not exclusive to Chase. So what do you think sets Chase apart from the rest, where you're able to, again, recruit these great coaches to believe in the vision? There's a saying that Ryan and I have coined. It's called getting the eggs right. And we coined that because we would go to Mamaks and we would be like, they just can't get the eggs right.
Can't even get the eggs right. Like, come on, guys.
It's like the boiled egg is not a boiled egg anymore.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the teh
You
ice
gotta
is
get the
not
basics right.
like the
Yeah.
teh ice is not gao anymore. It's watered down. It's
Yeah.
like get the basics right. So what do you think Chase got right? What sets you guys apart?
The number one, touching about community, I think that's very important when it comes to group fitness. Just because people come in, they are being supported not just by the coaches, but by their peers. And when it comes to group training, I think the energy that, when you two individuals together, I always believe iron sharpens iron. And that's when people who have, lack of experience with fitness, being able to be supported by people who are more experienced, I think that builds a very strong, connection. And they start from then on having the same goal and same mindset. It's a beautiful feeling. And that flourishes to friendships, that flourishes to, training buddies. And that kind of blossoms by its own. We don't really, force community. It builds up. It builds up. And if you want to come in, just come in, do your workout and step out. That's totally
fine as well.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But what we realize is that people crave connection.
Yeah,
Like the generation right now no longer wants to do something hard by themselves. Right? And fitness is hard. You're gonna admit fitness is hard. People like you and me, yeah, we started from conventional gym days.
Yeah,
We started from lifting weights alone. I mean, if I have to ask you guys what was the feeling like first day stepping to a gym, I mean,
I wouldn't remember.
I wouldn't remember either.
Yeah, I wouldn't remember.
Right. Because we are so used to we're so experienced. I mean, we do it so many years. We no longer have that. Remember that feeling?
Yeah, there's no. It's just like it's a thing to do. Just go do it, lah.
Precisely.
Like what else?
Yeah,
right?
but this, we have another group of people who are so intimidated and afraid, and they for them convention gyms is like,
A no-go zone.
no go.
Yeah.
So when they see group trainings, I feel like, oh, even if she or he could do it, I think I can give it a try. And there's music and there's lights, there's like great workouts. But if you shut them all off, like just turn off the lights, turn off everything, just keep it quiet. It's all comes to two things. I think it's about coaching, how you're able to motivate and encourage people to do something really hard. And number two is about how you have connection with people. And I think that's something lacking in today's society. We're lacking that connection. We're doing things alone. And when you have two or more gathered together, I think that's an amazing, amazing feeling. So that's number one, it's a community. Number two, the differences that set Chasers apart is that we always want to build, not just make people feel healthy physically, we want to make people mentally strong. Because it's not just us giving a routine and asking people to follow. It's about us really motivate them and also encourage them, coach them mentally to go through one more rep, do the hard things, challenge themselves, tell them that this is an opportunity for them to get better, stronger. And that's every coach. I always tell them, you have to, at one point, in your class, tell them that, make them believe that they're able to, do something challenging. If not, people would just give up. That kind of like iron sharpens iron feeling, that's something that individual training doesn't provide.
And also, like it's very, very rare you see somebody in great physical shape but somehow in poor mental shape.
Yeah.
It's very rare. Somebody who's in great physical shape has molded themselves and they've gone through so many hard things every single day. It shows discipline, it shows grit, it shows consistency, it shows like a lot of self-control as well, like not stuffing your face all the time. Like there's so many good traits that you need to have for somebody to be in good shape, right? And so that in itself is a good way of, it's self-love, it's self-respect. And on top of that also, just in the act of telling yourself, I'm worth enough to put this effort in to myself, you gain so much mental strength.
Yeah.
Right? So I very rarely have I met somebody who's in great physical condition who is not mentally fit as well.
Yeah.
it comes hand in hand. Like
Yeah.
physical fitness and mental fitness, they do definitely come hand in hand.
Yeah.
Right. Lots of high performing people, lots of successful people, they also are very healthy.
Yeah.
They're also in great shape.
Yeah.
You can't be a top performer but also be weak and sickly and unhealthy. It's hand in hand. Mental and physical is hand in hand.
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
Absolutely.
Totally
Absolutely.
agree. Totally
Yeah.
agree. And if that's, the discipline, like,
This discipline.
it all boils down to discipline.
Yeah.
Whether are you willing to do something consistently
How
for the
have
rest of your
you
life?
how have you changed? Like pre-chase and today. Have you noticed any changes in yourself? How you look yourself in the mirror, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's finances, whether the way you carry yourself, the way people treat you. Have you noticed any changes in yourself pre and now?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed is the way I work with a team.
Okay.
All right. So in a law firm, I was working with, you know, assistant, and that's it. Right. I don't work with other lawyers because everyone handles their own files. So you set your own direction, you set your own, workflow. Yeah, and you get it done. When I started to chase, immediately I was given a group of 15, 20 individuals. And I had to transform myself from a senior employee into a captain steering a ship,
Yeah.
right? And working with 20 individuals who are great at what they're doing brings in so many different characters as well. So, when great people, they have high egos. With high egos, they have different characters. So at
That's
that point, I
very
was trying to adjust, right? I'm like, wow, it's not easy to work with people, you know? And some people need guidance. Because I'm not hiring talents who had 10 years or 20 years of experience in ops. I was getting people who had probably no experience at all, but I like the character, right? And at that point, you had to kind of really learn how to adapt and really learn how to guide, which is something that I really had to, pick up instantly, or else, the whole ship would be steered in a different direction. So if I could say something that changed, I think it's my tolerance, patience,
Okay.
grace to listen and understand how people work, listen and understand that not everyone's is gonna work the same way as you do, and find a way to work with their strength. In the meantime, build or even try for them to improve on the negative. So that's something that tolerance and patience, number one, definitely.
Right.
Wow.
Interesting. Yeah.
That must have been a steep learning curve because it was again in such a short period of time.
Yeah.
You went from managing one person to now managing 20 people.
Yeah,
Not everyone's built like you,
yeah,
right? And so like maybe you don't tolerate bullshit
yeah,
with yourself,
yeah,
right? But so your tolerance thresholds may be defined by how you treat yourself. And then now you have a team of 15 and everybody has different personalities,
Yeah.
and they've got massive strengths. And at the same time, you are tasked to get the best out of them as well.
Yeah.
Right. So that learning curve, did it come from self-reflection? Did it come from sheer necessity because the business has to succeed? Like, how did you see that being like, shit, okay, these are the things I'm going to work on and I'll do it fast?
At that point, I wanted to take everything on my own, or I wanted to micromanage every single thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And even with everything that's little, big, I want to be the one doing it. So I know that it's done the right way, properly. But and I realized that, hey, it's not sustainable in the long run. You have to build a team that works with you. So at that point, I realized that, I have to learn on my own at the same time, guide, right? Guide through systems, build, SOPs, set those structures right. So I think the first time, when I stepped to Chase, it was just about building systems. I think that was something that we really wanted to nail it right. How we get customers in, how, step one, how do we, what was the first line do we say to them? What do we do? Do we stand up? Do we sit down? How do we check in? And after that class, what do we say? Get the high fives, make sure you get the high fives. Make sure you give them big white smile. Everything had to build through systems. And when people didn't understand, I had to be super, patient to guide. And yeah, you're right to say, like, I don't tolerate bullshit. And sometimes I don't, and the team understands that. It's when it comes to work, you can have fun, but make sure
Get the work done.
get the work done. Yeah. How do you guys, manage your team? I'm just curious.
How do we manage our team?
Why don't I speak for Ryan and you speak for me? Instead of speaking about ourselves.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
interesting.
gosh.
I'm just curious.
There we go.
Like,
How do we
I
manage
would
our team?
love to describe Ryan as a leader. They say adversity has a way of revealing the type of leadership you have, right? Adversity showcases the true way in which you lead. And I think from what I can think of all the adversities we faced as a team together, collectively, he's always been very empathetic. You would think that if we play good cop or bad cop, he would be bad cop and I'd be good cop. I don't know, maybe because of gender. But in all honesty, Ryan has always been the more empathetic one.
I'm the good cop.
He's the good cop. He's always led with kindness, but not to be mistaken as weakness, right? He's actually very stern. He has high standards for his people. But I would say anytime we face any sort of adversity, you've led with empathy. Yeah. I think that's how Ryan leads.
solid, bro.
Yeah, no, I think I have high standards for myself. That is definitely true. I think for the team, I try and encourage high standards. I really do try and encourage high standards. Depends on the industry as well. I think different industries you can treat people differently. Different kinds of natures of business, different businesses entirely bring a different kind of personality. And we're in a very creative space, and creative is very subjective. And so a lot of the time you can produce something that you think is beautiful, but maybe it doesn't serve the intended outcome, the purpose of the asset, maybe a certain ad to gain a certain sales for a certain client. But objectively, the client will think this is a poor asset because it doesn't serve the purpose. But subjectively, it's a wonderful, pretty piece of art, right? And so I'm working with a lot of artists. I'm working with creators. And creators don't really have a right or wrong, but they tend to be very invested in their art. So when somebody put their heart and soul into that piece, into that art, and you just come in and you got to be a bit sensitive, a bit careful when you comment or when you make changes or when you the way you approach the team, because it's the type of personality that this industry brings, right? If I was in a different industry or different environment, I may have to change my management style a little bit, right? Marketing is very female dominant. Most of our leaders here are women, and they are detail oriented, super detailed, super organized, can multitask tremendously, really hardworking, have great commercial acumen, think 3, 4, 5 steps ahead, things that you wouldn't have thought about, they have already ticked off. And so you're not supposed to treat them like brute force. You can't just be like yelling and bombastic. You have to sit down, have conversations, understand where they're coming from, understand thought process. So I think the empathy piece is not like because I genuinely am a really empathetic person. I think it's because that's the management style that works to get the best out of my people in the place that I'm at.
I disagree. When you were in recruitment, when you were working with a bunch of men,
I was
right?
not empathetic.
You were.
No, I wasn't.
You would be more stern, yes. You'd
No,
be
no,
more
no.
of a brute force, yes. But
If any of my
I've
ex,
always observed
No,
the
no, 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 no.
underlying style of leadership that he possesses has always been lead with empathy.
Interesting.
I've noticed that. Even when your previous staff would falter,
I disagree.
it was never
Yeah.
punitive.
Caught on camera, I completely
It
disagree.
was never punitive.
I don't know if my previous staff or previous people that I work with would agree with that. Yeah. It was different.
Maybe
It was
they
a bunch of,
experienced something I
it was a
didn't
bunch
see.
of sales guys, a bunch of dudes. Because by trade, I was a recruiter.
Yeah.
So in recruitment, it's just a bunch of dudes banging phones all day.
Yeah,
right?
man.
And yeah, like we like the cussing and the swearing
Yeah.
and just a bunch of bros, a
Yeah.
bunch of dudes. So that, yeah, no, that was a very different style, and that style worked for that environment. So I think I can be quite malleable in that sense.
Did gender play a big
Yeah,
role?
gender plays a role.
Yeah, it
I
does.
think gender plays a role.
It does.
Gender plays a role. You can't manage a bunch of dudes the same way you manage women. It's different. It's just different.
Yeah.
And I don't care how modern we want to be about defining where we are. It's 2025.
Yeah.
Like no. Gender plays a role.
Yeah.
Gender plays a role. How Yuri's management style, I think she leads with competence. I think it's competence leadership, which is like there's a double-edged sword because she's super capable, man. Like she can get so. I think you guys would have more similar than different. Yeah, like to a certain degree that there is a side of micromanagerial behavior a little bit because she wants things to be done right. I'm like my biggest thing is that I'm trying to learn how to delegate better.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the best out of people. I want to build better leaders. And I'm also 35 in a social space. And everybody's asking, how do we target Gen Z? How do we target Gen Alpha? How do we, get younger customers? And maybe we should ask the Gen Z. Maybe you should ask the younger people, right? We have a motto, which is hire good people and get out of their way. Like if you have a great person, why are you like getting in their way all the time, right? They're great and they know what they're doing. And so like, I think for her, it's there is a level of, she can do a lot of things really fast, right? And then not just really fast, but to a high standard. And so a lot of the time, I think she leads with competence, right? It's like, how do you do it? Let me show you how it's done. Blah, 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 blah. This is how it's done. Okay, great. Problem solved, done. So like we call her like the problem vending machine in the office. Like people
Problem vending machine. I vent out problems.
solution vending machine. Yeah. Well, yeah. So like any problem that we have, like Yuri's door just opens. Somebody walks in, Yuri's door's open, like, and then somebody's sitting next to her and she's troubleshooting problems and providing solutions like on the fly every single day. It's just firefighting. So I think that's that competence piece that's how she leads. It is showing how things are done and then getting people to mirror that behavior. Yeah. I think that's how you lead.
I think that's a solid observation, yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. But then again, right? I don't think there's a one size fits all when it comes to leadership style.
That's a good point.
Not even with gender, but also with specific people. Like I'm sure you change your tone or your approach, or you've got to be a bit malleable depending on the person you're speaking to. Do you ever see yourself do that? Like, is it a form of adaptability, or would you say that maybe you try and have a blanket personality trait of empathy with your leadership? Like this is something you had to learn, right? Or would you say that you may be a bit specific with specific individuals?
I always have an outcome in mind when I speak to people or even guide someone. My outcome is what do I want to achieve? It's to get a problem resolved.
Correct. Yeah.
And now it's about leadership is about figuring out, making people believe and want to, what you believe in your vision and also to guide. And when it comes to, different characters, be it, female, male, I think there's a different approach. Not just that, it depends on who you approach differently. Because there will be so many different characters who receive comments, feedbacks differently.
Yes.
Differently.
Yes. Yes.
right? So if I were to go, hard style, straight commando,
Yeah.
army, get this done now. Some people will not take it that way.
Mm.
When it comes to creative as well, I do agree they have like a different, you have a different approach. When it comes to people who are more they're softer, you need a different approach. People who are able to, they are more, they can withstand, pressure a bit more, they have a different approach. So I think it's kind of, you have to be like a little bit more adaptive towards who you are speaking to and kind of know or assess the character, from the start, and kind of really to adapt in how you communicate what you want to communicate. Because all I care about is like
Intended outcomes.
intended outcomes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So if you're someone who may not take harsh criticism, I kind of like sit back and like think, how do I phrase the best way so that she or he understands?
Mm.
When okay, I'm gonna like kind of switch gears a little bit, right? When was the first time you like? Let me rephrase that question. At what age, like early on in your life, did you identify as a person that is a fitness person, like somebody that has that kind of a lifestyle? Like you'll at least go for a run or go to gym, or like you cared enough to do these things.
Pretty young age. I started off in primary school.
Primary.
Yeah.
Were you in like?
I was a
did you-
basketball team.
Oh, okay. You enrolled to it. Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
was enrolled as a basketball team.
Okay.
Really super chunky fat kid.
Oh,
Around the
really?
block.
No
Yeah,
way.
just eating and eating. But I
Can we
was
have a
like,
picture of Ivan as a child?
Yeah, can you please have that?
I'm not sure if I still have it though. It's probably in like 4R
Okay.
copy.
I was a fat kid as well.
Yeah, I
when
was
young.
super fat.
Yeah.
Super fat kid. Yeah, man, eating whatever I can.
Yeah.
I think it's just fed well by parents. It's great. And being a basketball team, an advantage of size, so that's good. And it was all cute up until secondary. Wasn't it cute anymore? It wasn't that funny anymore.
Okay. Okay.
I think secondary school you kind of realize that hey, it's people you want to look good.
Yeah.
And being
You-
chubby kid, it's
you
no
may-
longer the best.
You may get girls as well. Like
Yeah,
The
yeah.
element of like.
So
Yeah.
I really went on a really unhealthy fitness, start off with a really unhealthy fitness practice. I started starving myself.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I started not drinking water, eating bread, and just to lose fats in a really unhealthy way.
Okay.
And I kept jogging. Yeah, I kept jogging because my dad's he runs marathons, tons of marathons.
Oh.
My dad's a marathon
okay.
runner.
Okay.
So I just started jogging with him. And when I came home, I decided not to eat. I don't know what was wrong with my thinking at that time. Just lack of knowledge, lack of experience.
Okay.
Just thinking like, if I don't eat,
You lose weight.
you lose weight.
Yeah.
Simple as that. If I drink water, you lose weight. And I got really scrawny, like really skinny at one point.
Oh.
But I was still, functional.
Yeah.
Still played basketball. Just that if I were to look back at those photos, it's just like insane. How did I end up in that state?
Right.
I was just doing mats at home, doing crunches, and then eating a piece of bread, and then do crunch again. Kind of like really crazy maniac lifestyle. Like had no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then at the age of 18, my dad was a member of Fitness First, and during the
Okay.
weekends they're allowed to bring guests.
Okay.
So
Ah.
that was when, hey, why don't I try? And he was like, yeah, come and try. So I started doing group classes back then.
Okay.
They had like this body combat, they had this body
Okay.
step. I did yoga, and it was like weightlifting was like out, right? No idea, no clue. And then I started doing machines,
Okay.
but still had no clue. And one day, one of the guys were like, hey, can I help you?
Oh.
Can I show you how to do it?
Mm.
And so now I was his groomsman. We were super tight friends up until this
Wow.
day.
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And yeah, his name is Joseph. Joseph, who is a amazing physiotherapist right now.
Okay.
And he was the one that taught me. He was so passionate about fitness.
What's his last name?
Joseph Wu.
Ooh.
W-O-O.
Oh. Okay. Don't know. Don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was so passionate about fitness at the time. And he was telling me about protein shakes, how to do proper workouts. And looking back at this day, I was like, dude, come on, compared to the knowledge you know now and we know now, it's like back then we were just like child's play, man.
Right.
Right? It's yeah, and at that point we started working out together, and then I started like, hey, you know what? Fitness is I want to do this every day. So I started gymming, started working gym, and then you kind of really this lifestyle starts to be embedded in you, and then yeah, it just flourishes to running into, and I continue on with basketball as well,
Mhm.
you know, and then back in uni days, still same, you know, you try to do everything, fitness lifestyle. It becomes the lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle.
That's when it started. I think it all started through gym and weightlifting.
Okay. So like you'd say 18 or even prior.
Yeah, definitely 18 was when I did it every day.
Okay. What was it? Do you recall? Like, what was it in you that you were like, okay, I'm a chubby kid. I don't want to be a chubby kid anymore. I'm gonna eat bread and do crunches.
Like why?
Like how? What was that? Do you remember that like pivotal moment in your life when you were like, yeah, nah, no more.
Yeah.
Done with that.
I mean, look in the mirror. I just look in the
Okay.
mirror and it wasn't too
Didn't enjoy what you saw.
yeah, didn't really, you know, kind of look in the mirror and wasn't too satisfied with what I looked at, right? And I think that comes with self-awareness.
Mm.
Realizing that things need to be changed,
Mhm.
and next is taking the steps to change.
Mm.
So that's a
I mean, it's interesting to see how it all came full circle, right? Because you joining Fitness First was through the ramp up of the classes, the group classes.
Yeah.
Which perhaps, you know, it's interesting to see how it comes full circle.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You know, starting off.
How
with
did
classes.
you become a coach? Like, what was day one? Was it like literally like one person in front of you and you're like, all right, I'm
Let's
gonna motivate
go.
you,
Man.
and then like then you kind of how's that journey?
So I was dreaming, and I was dreaming in back in probably 18, was it college
Okay.
days, and one of the guys he ran Herbalife,
Okay.
so they do group classes.
Herbalife does group classes.
Oh.
No, so I think how it works
Okay.
is that when you sell, you can also provide. It doesn't matter how you want to sell it. You can still sell it and have a fitness studio, and you probably could. You get what I mean?
Okay.
Your main point is to
Push
produce-
product.
To push products. Yeah.
and if you have group classes and your products, you see better results. So that makes sense.
Okay.
It's a complement
okay.
service.
Okay.
So a guy at the gym, which we're still friends, of course, to this day, very day, and he was looking for coaches. And he was saying he does Herbalife. I was like, oh, what's Herbalife? I said, no, it's a nutrition brand. And he said he does group class. I said, oh, okay. HIIT. He's like, high
Okay.
intensity interval training. And I was like, yeah, I think I could do it, you know? So when the first day, it was in Cheras. It was on top of like a really, you know, a building, a random
Okay.
building.
Okay.
And you walk up the stairs and just open the door. It's just pure plank wooden platforms.
Okay. This is like the
And-
top floor.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
top floor. And people, there was a long table with shakes. And I was spread around a group class. And I realized that it was just aunties.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Just pure aunties, man. And I was like, okay. And I was like, he said, are you ready? I was like, yes. And he gave me a microphone, like a microphone, and a speaker, a hand speaker. Then I was like, okay, no.
Uh-huh.
At that time, if you have not done anything before, you have no expectations. No expectations means normal, right?
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
yeah, great. So I was like, okay, cool, right? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Did that for I think about a year, man.
Wait, how are you
Really?
coaching with the mic in your hand? Like, all right, let's do burpees. Give me 20.
Let's do. No, I think at the time,
Like a speaker in hand.
You don't even go to burpees, man. You just like squats and body squats, and they're like good.
They're just
Right.
following you.
They're
and-
just following you,
Yeah.
and also having a mic, and you had this like disco ball.
What the hell?
No, dude, I was serious. Yeah, a disco ball, like it kept rotating, and after that, they would drink the meal replacement shake,
Okay.
and I get paid in an ang pao,
Okay.
a red packet every single time.
Okay.
I coach, and it was like good pocket money for me during college
Yeah.
days. And I was like, yeah, I did that like twice a week.
Okay.
I was like,
That's
yeah,
crazy.
It was crazy.
What
man.
the hell?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
did that. And I was like, now looking back, it all started from, coaching there.
Wow.
Huh.
With Herbalife.
And then you joined Fly Cycle.
And then I started. I had to do uni.
Yeah.
Study
Yeah.
uni, and
You
then
and help.
yeah. I did A levels in help, and then I continued on to do training from BSc.
Okay.
Went into the UK, and then did and worked in the UK. And a couple of years, came back, and then at that time you have to do pupillage to get called to the bar. So there was a 9 months period, and I went all in because it was just horrendous hours.
Mm.
You start at 7, you go back around 12.
Jeez.
And it's
Okay.
crazy because it's so competitive. You have a bunch of like 10, I think in my batch with 10 pupils, and they only handpick, select, retain a few to become junior lawyers.
Right,
So the
okay.
competition was really high.
Okay.
And after I was done with pillage, I was like, no way I could sustain such a lifestyle doing, 12 hours or even 14, 16 hours
Yep.
a day legal work. And I was like, okay, what can I do next? Right? And the time fitness wasn't it wasn't back in my head. I was thinking like, what could I don't know, so I figured something.
Anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
And
But you were still working out. Like you're still like a person that goes to
Yeah.
gym, or you just didn't have the time at all.
no, at that time I was still working out. Every time I was
Okay.
in the morning working out.
Okay.
Oh, I started selling KT tapes at the time.
Wait,
What are those?
You know those elastic tapes, like tape your shoulders, for recovery. I started selling tapes.
Okay.
I started trying to start the sales, trying the smaller things. This is a side hobby. It's simple as that. Nothing. I started selling protein shakes as well.
Okay.
Nothing much. And then one day I was invited by a friend, a very close friend of mine, and she said, "Hey, why don't you try indoor cycling with me?"
Okay.
And I was like, "Sure,
Okay.
why not?"
You seem like a guy that like people go, why don't you try?
Why
And you're like,
sure.
sure.
Yeah, I was like, "Yeah, let's go for it."
Yeah.
So she booked me in, and no expectations.
Yeah.
Step into indoor cycling. I was like, and I was really like confident, right? Because I was like, yeah, I worked out, I work out, and then when I stepped on the bike, when the first song played, it was a K-pop theme, right? And I was like, man, I got culture shock at the time. I couldn't even cycle. I don't know what was going on. Everyone was just cheering. Everyone was just, having so much of fun.
Yeah.
And they could do something that I thought I could do, is just riding an indoor bike. Not realizing that it was so tough. Like,
Right.
I think after the warm-up track, I just sat down throughout the whole 45 minutes.
Like that was a warm-up
Really?
track.
It was a warm-up track. First song was a warm-up track. Stood up, pretty chill.
Yeah.
After that, I couldn't even continue. I sat down. I was like, what am I doing here? I'm never going to come back. This is just, this is crap. It's just,
Right.
why everyone's just doing cardio. But I didn't understand what was the hype from that.
Okay.
And I didn't come back to indoor cycling after a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Oh.
step into group classes a year later.
I feel like that's gonna be my experience if I ever try indoor cycling.
Indoor cycling?
Yeah.
I tried once and
Yeah.
I did. It's vigorous.
Yeah,
My
it's
God.
tough.
That's tough.
So that was during the pupillage days. I went for the indoor cycling. And post 1 year later, I decided to search for group classes
To train.
to train. And no, I think auditions first. So I set out, prepare my CV. I had to do from scratch to come up with a fitness CV, but everything was only about Herbalife, nothing else. Right? I made it sound professional, right?
No chat GPT back then.
No chatty
Yeah,
back
so
then.
you were
It
like-
sounded pretty great, but just with me group coaching.
Yeah.
And then I started and no one responded. Except for one, which I'm still forever too grateful. Fly responded. Back as
sorry?
Fly
Oh.
Project responded, and they're looking for hit coach.
Okay.
And
And you have experience with HIT prior?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
had-
Herbalife, man. Herbalife was an anchor. I told you
That-
about
that-
Herbalife, bro.
that
Don't
hit-
discount that. Don't
Hit
take that
coach from that rooftop with the
With the disco ball.
Yeah, I
on
was the
mic.
only coach, man. I
Where
wasn't
did
the head
you-
coach. I was the head and the only coach.
where did they fit the disco ball?
It's all
Like,
about phrasing, man. It's all about phrasing. I could be the head coach. I could be the main coach.
head coach, only coach.
Yeah, the one and only coach.
The one and only.
Yeah, so they were encouraging me to go for hit,
Okay.
and I was like, yeah, let's go try hit now. And before it was hit room was behind of the studio. In between, while walking to hit room on your right, you have an indoor cycling studio, and of course, you just enter from the front desk, right? So when I was going towards the hit door, I was dressed with tracksuit, proper shoes, and kind of like fitness jacket and all. And midway through, the cycle auditions were ongoing as well. They were doing the same time.
Okay.
And the coach from indoor cycling suddenly stepped out the room and said, "Hey, where are you going?" And I was like, "Hey, I was asking a question. Do you know where is the hit room?" And he was like, "Oh," he looked at me and he's kind of scanned me from top to bottom.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, we're not having hit auditions.
Oh.
We're having cycle.
Hmm.
But if you pass cycle, making it to hit wouldn't be a problem."
Right. Okay.
So I was like, "Okay." He said, "Would you like to try?" And I was like, "No, because I do not know how to cycle."
Right. Okay.
So he's like, "It's fine.
Just try.
Just try." So I went into the room. It was like probably about 20 individuals who were experienced riders
Yeah.
training to be coaches.
Okay.
And then you have me there, not even knowing how to set up the bike. Because my last time was a year later, which I wasn't even taught about how to the bike settings whatsoever.
Right.
So Matt, the guy beside me, asked him, "Hey, how do you set this up?" He helped me. He said, "Just remember these 4 movements. 1, 2, 3, 4-ish."
Okay.
And just, so I panicked, looked up into what's 100 top hot playlists on Spotify. Spotify was on that time.
Okay.
And decided to go for it.
Okay.
And I did like I wish I had the video right now.
Why?
But it was the most crap. I didn't even know what I was doing. It was cycling and like just like super, I don't know. But one thing, I know why I was pretty confident in myself. like for me, I was gonna make a fool of myself. So why not just go out?
So
Right?
why not just go out with a bang?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just go out with a bang.
Yeah.
I don't lose anything.
Yeah.
At the end, I was like, after that session, I was, oh no, there goes my fitness career in KL. Done. I'm not gonna be a hit coach. I'm gonna be a cycle coach. And I got into the auditions. And I got added to group chat as like, for that batch. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a cycle. And then we started training. And I know I enjoyed that sport so much because I was like, this is something that, helps me with cardio, and yeah, why not? Why not? So, and then I started learning and started becoming a cycle coach. And then in hindsight, 3 years later, I asked back the guy who called me and was like, "Hey, actually, why do you call me and no news after hit?" He was like, "Oh, he was actually running. I just lied to you because I thought you were better in cycle."
Right.
I was like, "Dude, you scammed me into it, right?" And I never really hit coach until Chase.
Right.
So yeah, that answers your question, how it all started.
Right.
It wasn't expected. It was just, it happened.
Happens for a reason.
It just happened.
Before we wrap up, I want to touch a little bit about money,
Yeah.
right? Because anyone that gets into business or entrepreneurship or any sort of commerce, money is important. And one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, why is money so important to you? And my answer always is, why not? It's everything, right? Any problem can be solved with resources. And one of the resources that we have is money. You want to go on a date. You want to bring your spouse for dinner. You want to go to Disneyland with your kids. It's money. And I watched this interview with Floyd Mayweather, and he answered something that really stayed with me. And he said, "Money don't make me. I make money." Right? And what he's saying is money is so important for him. He thinks about money all the time, but to him, it's his ability, it's his investment in his capabilities, in his skill as a professional to make more money. And on that note, I wanted to ask you, what's your take on money? Is money important to you? And does it define your success?
Allows me to get things that I need in life, but it's definitely not an idol that I worship. Money is a means of me being able to live a lifestyle or being able to sustain, gain experiences in life, to be able to buy certain things as a reward, but I don't worship money. I, through the proud process of what I'm doing, money is something that comes into it, or benefits from it, from what I'm doing.
It's a byproduct.
Yeah, it's about, yeah, that's right. Because if I shift my focus into earning, or to getting more money, I think that disrupts, um, the passion from what I feel. Because I feel that one day, even without money, I would be coaching for free, right? Because I even did that during MCO. I turned on the podcast, I turned on the video, and coach my guys for free. And if you ask me if I were to, my goal for Chase is that one day I'm able to retire and go to retirement homes and coach them for free. So, of course, when it comes to retirement, it comes with money as well. But not just saying that I have to be, super rich. But as long as it's able to give me a lifestyle so that I'm able to carry on this lifestyle to bless others who are unfortunate to pay for fitness, I think, I have to reach a certain amount of, comfort level with when it comes to money so that I'm able to do what I want to do in the future.
This may come across as a very direct question, but I've asked a lot of business founders this question, which is, what's the figure? What's the figure where you go, you know what? I think I have enough that I can do whatever the hell I want. And I've heard like varying degrees of amounts.
Is it the fuck you money? Like, what's the number?
Not necessarily. It doesn't have to be fuck you money. It's what's the figure in mind. I personally have a figure. What's the figure in mind that you go, that's the goal. And once I get there, I would tell myself that's enough.
That's an interesting question that I did ask myself once. And to this day, I still do not have an answer.
Really?
I still do not have an answer, because if I'm able to can really sustain or buy things I want, and it's, for example, talking about clothes, I don't own many clothes. What I think, as long as I'm able to be comfortable and enjoy life, I think money is not something that I really want to, emphasize on. But if I have to give an amount, I'll go $1 billion.
$1 billion.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot. That's probably the highest I've heard.
Yeah, I think it's the highest we've heard as well. Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I would aim for $1 billion. Whether would I use $1 billion?
Ringgit or USD?
Good question.
Ringgit.
Billion ringgit. Will Chase have other outlets?
Yes.
Chase will have other outlets.
Yes.
And are you eyeing anywhere else, or you're not? Hasn't crossed your mind?
You mean location?
Yeah.
Bangkok.
Oh, nice.
Nowhere in Klang Valley, nowhere in Malaysia. The next spot is Bangkok.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And do you guys plan to keep it that way, as Chase as one outlet, Kuala Lumpur?
At the moment, yes. Maybe.
Then maybe one in Singapore.
Not in Singapore. Yeah.
Non-Singapore.
Too saturated.
Oh, it is, huh?
Bangkok. My eyes on Bangkok. Just think it's a good lifestyle. Lot of opportunities there. Not too saturated. Singapore is too saturated. Klang Valley is getting pretty saturated as well.
When does so you guys have 7,000 footfall per month,
Yeah.
right? Have you? I'm sure like you're a numbers guy, right? Like have you guys done the math in terms of what is maximum capacity footfall per month?
Yeah, it's about 10K.
About 10K per month.
About 10K per month.
That's it. That's the
Yeah,
cap.
that's it. That's it. And then we have to open another outlet.
Another outlet.
Yeah. There's nothing you get from
So
anyway.
that's crazy because in 6 months you get to 7,000, and it's almost inevitable for you to hit 10K like fast.
Yes. Yes.
Like maybe by year end, if not maybe even sooner.
Yes. Yes. And we hope
So
we reach
then-
that point.
You no longer have a demand issue, you have a supply issue.
But you see, the tricky part is comes to indoor cycling because we only open morning to night. If we to maximize it, we open during the days. But the days for indoor cycling is pretty difficult.
People go to work.
Yeah, people. I still don't understand the concept because bootcamp reformer is full, but not
Oh.
indoor cycling. Which it comes back to research and trying to understand consumer behavior.
Right, right.
Why not cycle during 3, 4? But because I think indoor cycling is kind of like a bigger group setting, and people want to be in a bigger group environment, so only the morning and night classes would happen. I do not know if anyone who runs a studio and a class at 4 or 2 for indoor. I know Singapore does. They do lunchtime classes.
Oh.
I know there are a couple of studios who do lunchtime classes, but not beyond that.
What's the most business critical decision that you have to make right now for Chase?
At the moment, whether do we hang in there for a couple of years or do we expand? Different products.
Do you have investors already like that are down to open the next outlet, or will you just self-fund the whole thing?
Self-fund.
Self-fund the whole thing.
Self-fund. Self-fund. It was a different product. We're looking to yoga.
Oh.
Yeah, yoga and probably mainly yoga.
So it may be a
demand that.
different outlet, and it has the Chase brand and it holds all the Chase values, but then the entire ID and the setting would be catering to different products.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Different products, not the same.
Okay. We're just kind of running out of time a little bit, aren't we?
Before we wrap
Do you have
up,
any-
I do want to ask about your
Yeah.
marketing activities, right? So one of the ways in which I got acquainted to Chase was through your content. I think you guys have great content. There's a lot of storytelling. How much of marketing is done in-house?
Not many.
Everything is outsourced.
We have, I think, about 9 deliverables that are outsourced,
Ah.
and the rest are done in-house, but just very basic content, like through using an iPhone. Yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
I think a lot of Chase's success is the operations. Very, very strong operations.
Systems.
And all the coaches are one highly capable. The customer experience is fantastic. Referrals. I'm sure you guys get tons of referrals. I think a lot of it is just like the way in which people experience Chase is so positive compared to other outlets.
It's like getting the eggs right.
That-
That was actually
yeah.
my next question, which was how much of your success with Chase's success do you think attributed to good marketing?
A lot. I think it's a lot. And I can only be thankful to Yuying, who is the brain behind the marketing. And her direction, she's a good marketer herself, which that's why I always say that, hey, you should actually start your own agency. Why are you behind iNews? You should actually start. And that comes to the question of, if I have to start something else, then I will spread my eggs in 2 baskets and you
Right.
can't focus on one. I mean, that conversation it's for another day. But at the end, I feel that she has a talent, a raw talent, and that's it. Marketing it's a talent, right? And not just on the performance side. She knows, in terms of how to create a brand, and that's something that we needed from the start. We needed from the start. It's to how do we create goodwill and brand. So she pioneered that. and she was like, "Oh, you know what? Let us start off this way. You know, how do the storytelling? We want to start whereby."
So she was the brain behind the branding and
Yes, everything. Because I had no experience. I had no
Right.
experience. To this day, I've never contributed anything towards marketing. I had ideas. And yeah, but every head to tail, she is the brains behind.
But all the coaches also come up with their own content, right? Like you included, like you create your own videos.
Yeah.
Like you also
Yeah.
have your own following.
Yeah, but it's some of them they're good with their own following, but not to say they're necessarily content creators,
Okay.
right? So we had to, some of us, yes, we had our own following on social media. Some don't, and at the very beginning, the coaches were not confident of posting content out about Chase because
Okay.
it's something new.
Okay.
I think at the start, like, people are afraid. I mean, everyone would question themselves. Like, if I was a coach in a new company, I'll question myself, what if this doesn't work out?
Yeah. Yeah.
Until, I mean, now everyone shouts out loud just
Yeah.
because everything's going well.
Yeah.
But what if, at the start when nothing goes well,
And they may have been attached with another gym,
yeah,
right? So there would have been a barrier until we know it's
yeah,
it's legit.
yeah,
It works out.
yeah. So I think Ewing played a huge part with marketing, and give credit to her for that, and how she wanted Chase to be branded, she and eyes for really good detailed content.
aesthetics.
I think that's something that, yeah, precise content. I think that's something that's a talent. A talent. And I still to this very day said, hey, you should start something your own. I think you would do really well. Just build brands. And she's very good building brands. Yeah. So I think our next challenge is how do we scale? How do we take up another level? I think she's very good to build brands. If you ask her to market a pen, yeah, that's it. Yeah, she can. So it's which is good. Yeah.
Right. We have one final question for you.
Yeah.
So this was a question that was left by our previous guest, Aizat. And the question is, would you like to do the honors?
Nah, I think you have it with you, so.
And the
go ahead.
question from Aizat was, if you could change one thing about your life at present, what would it be? And it cannot be business related.
The way I take granted of the good people around me. Yeah. When you to focus yourself and your goals, you miss out on relationships. And once it's gone, it's gone. And you always wish you could turn back time. You always wish you could rewrite the wrong. I think that's something that, or even take back the word to say, have better, build better relationships, build better friendships. And sometimes when you're I myself, so focused on what I want to do, I think that was neglected. So I think if I would change one thing, it's to try to treat the people close to me better and give everything I could to someone.
I can't help but wonder, you sound like you're thinking of something specific.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, it's when it comes to I don't it's how sometimes when you say words or things that come out from your mouth that you don't mean, you tend to hurt relationships. And at the moment you don't see the importance of a person until it's gone. And when it's gone, it's gone, right? So yeah, I think that's, if I could change, it's the way I treat people around. Yeah. Not to say nothing bad, but if I could give everything, like how I were to treat myself or treat, my mom or my dad to someone that is close to you, close friend. Yeah, I wish I could do a little bit more. I think I could do more. I think that's something that I hope I could turn back. But yeah, it is what it is.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
On that note, it is now your turn to write a question for our next guest.
Sure.
So
Sure.
if you could just pen down.
It says your line here.
All right. This is actually becoming a tradition now.
Yeah.
right?
It should be.
I actually can't wait to fill up the pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much.
Thank you for having me over, guys.
I know you've got a busy schedule,
Yeah.
making the time, coming all the way here to have a chat with us.
Pleasure.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Enjoyed picking your brain. Love your energy, and definitely would love to have you on in the future as well.
Certainly.
All right.
Certainly.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much,
sharing.
guys.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thank you.
And if you could just leave the audience with one key takeaway. Say somebody wants to venture out into becoming a fitness entrepreneur. What's one advice you would have for them?
Be disciplined. Be disciplined, and to always hold on to your purpose, because when your purpose falls, everything falls. When challenges come, the only thing that's holding on, it's that purpose. So hold on to it in everything you do. Yes.